There we go. This is the opposite. This song is the opposite of what we're going to get today. That's Sean. How are you? Nah. Are you happy for a happy State of the Nation address day to you, brah?
Are you being sarcastic?
Fuck, of course I am. Oh my god, what? I've started watching it. Good lord, I can't honestly. I'm just watching every time I see anything. I'm just gonna listen. Can we start already? Just pull it up. There we go. Every time I see anything, wait, let's make us smaller so we're tiny and they're big. Whenever I see anything from this, I'm just going, how expensive is this? How absolutely expensive is all of this? Can we get it in HD? Thank you. Hello, chat. How are you guys?
I mean, we're paying for it.
What?
We're paying for it.
Of course we're paying for it. We're paying for every inch of it.
God, it's so boring. So when does it officially start?
In like an hour.
Oh my god, why am I here?
Well, you don't have to. I was just thinking it would be fun. I just wanted to see my money get blown. See there's my money. That's my money getting blown right there. That's we're paying. We're paying for everybody to be here. These people clapping hands like seals, right? We're paying for that. The fact that this road's closed, we're paying for that. The guy there, that person there, all the cones, every single cone. I imagine that they went and bought new cones just for this. That's how I imagine this. Yeah, I don't know. It's next level insanity to me. But we're not gonna we're gonna chat for about like an hour until the festivities actually kick off. You want to see we've got 4 feeds going. If you want to check it out. So yeah, this is the, which one is this? This is the national, parliamentary channel, I think. Yeah. Parliament's own official channel. And then we've got another one. This ENCA, or we can do SABC. Yeah. But for now, nothing's really happening. So yeah. How's your day going? Well, let's leave it open so we can see what happens.
Oh yeah, so I can see how bored I'm gonna be.
Good lord. This is Darth Sean while you're there. Adamon. Yes, Salah, right in there. Here is a cent for you to pay for something. Adamon, thank you. Dude, really appreciate it, mate. I can at least blow my money on your channel. Listen, if I would rather have that, I would just go like, why don't you let us keep our money, right? So we can blow our money on this shit if we want. This is one of those things I imagine, you know what? You could have just had a fucking Zoom meeting. You know what? A Zoom meeting would have been sufficient.
And Commander-in-Chief.
I'll play it like a little bit low in the background. Can you hear the audio? That's wrong?
Yeah.
And also
okay. Not too loud, just so that our voices are... Hadman, again, thank you very much, good sir. Much appreciated. Hoe gaan dit daar? Resources is in the house. Dries says, Darth, while you're on your phone, how about you check your WhatsApp? So that's what happens when you're on your phone, Darth Sean, and then other people that message you go like, why? I'm prepared, dude. I've got a smoothie ready. I've got a full bottle of water, and I'm ready. Bro, this guy's enjoying it. You know why this guy's so happy?
The military band, and all sonars include this, and these performances are part of the culture. And
you know why this guy's so happy playing the trombone? Because he's getting paid.
To what is otherwise rooted.
You're paying. We're paying.
You're paying for it as well.
Of course, 7 o'clock. The clock is ticking. We are now 15 minutes.
So this is our Navy. They literally, it's basically just an excuse for them to start a band. This is so tired. Nant, Oom Rock and Sean of the Darth. How's it, Dylan? How are you? We're going to listen to nothingness. Exactly. That's exactly 100% right. Listen, also, guys, listen, we're streaming on both on YouTube and we're on the X. If you guys want to go pop in on the X side, if you're on X, is that your platform of choice, pull in, have a chat, join us in the chat if you want to. Drop a message. We'll share your message. Ask a question. We're not experts, but we'll answer them. That's the service that we'll apply to you. That's what we'll do. That's how much we care. The best president we've ever had. Yeah, no, great sarcasm, buddy. I love it. That's awesome. I really appreciate it. This is a comedy show. That's a good joke. Thank you, good sir. Thank you. That was a good one. Pop a link. Pop a link for X. Okay. Hold on. How do I do this? I wonder if I paid for that. Do you think we paid for that as well? We've definitely paid for that red carpet. But it looks very much like your vibe there, Dosron. I love that you've coordinated with the vibe.
Speakers of the relevant legislatures, and as you can see now, the acting chief justice and the
let's turn it up for a little bit.
Really clapping
preparing
that,
to exit to make their way.
Trumpet.
The what?
He's really working that trumpet.
Yeah.
Who is the deputy secretary to the National Council of Provinces? The undersecretary, as is actually correctly addressed.
You can see that the premier.
Oh, there's Alan Windy. Oh, what a prat.
Mutuba, the premier of the Western Cape, Mr. Alan Winde, and the
Alan
other
Winde?
premiers from the various provinces of South Africa. And next up, it will be the acting chief justice and the judiciary, and they will be led to the gallery by none other than the secretary to the National Council of Provinces, Advocate M.E. Pindela. And of course, that is the statue of the former president, Nelson Mandela. I spoke to it earlier because I got to experience that gentleman when he was standing right there on the balcony on the 11th of February 1990, and that followed his release from prison after serving, of course, the 27 years of his life.
Any moment now, we'll see the acting chief justice and the judiciary coming through Corporation Street, and they will be conducted along Darling Street to the VIP entrance of the City Hall so that they can also take their seats in the gallery. They will be led by the Secretary
Thanks,
to the
CR.
National Council of
Thank you. You're
Provinces,
amazing.
Advocate Mudibedi Pindela.
And of course, the nation awaits the 2026 State of the Nation address. It is a powerful moment, not just to look forward to, but to look back as well. And that is why it was important that even throughout our conversations on Parliament TV, we've been reflecting on some of the commitments that the President made in the last State of the Nation address. And surely, even throughout the debates next week, that is what some of the political parties will be scrutinizing and checking whether
CR, I think you did
some of the commitments that he made, and what
point
are
out
some of
the
the
reality
shortfalls?
there. I think that was a
Just to
wave.
remind those who just joined us, you are watching the live broadcast. In fact, you're watching the live broadcast
From the Mork Rock Show.
Parliament
That's-
TV.
Yeah, well, kind of from the Mork Rock Show and Parliament TV. They don't know that they're working for us.
It's a build-up show to the State of the Nation address that the President will be delivering in the next 45 minutes.
This
Of
is
course,
everything we
tonight
paid for. Every single thing that's there, we've paid for. It sort of bums me out. The amount of money. I wonder, do we have any jets left? Do we have jets coming over today? Usually there's jets flying over. I wonder if I'll be able to see them from here. I don't know. Maybe. It's going to be funny. It's going to be fun.
Nation address next week.
And that is the Navy, and the band is playing outside. And like I said,
That's just the
this
Navy.
is part of the ceremony and the tradition that shows how proudly
Let's just
and
let's
uniquely
switch
South African
streams for a
the
second just to
State of
see what
the
else is
Nation
going on.
address processions are.
And of course, as you can see there on your screen, the military band. We're hoping that we'll get an opportunity to have to listen to that music. It's playing very good music, but as soon as
That's
our
nice.
mics have been connected, we will afford you an opportunity to listen to that music that is, of course, being played by the South African National Defence Force band.
So that's what we're gonna do when shit goes down. We're just gonna go, you know. Is that the same?
Actually demanding. The president speaks tonight against the backdrop of collusion governance, fiscal pressure, and of course heightened public scrutiny. And that context will frame how every announcement that the president makes is interpreted.
Switch to this one. Sorry.
Wind is flying us over here, but you know what? It's all in good fun. But of course, you know, as we are now counting down, we are going to see the streets that are lined. So from
It's a political event of the year,
where
Dr.
the president starts his procession, you know, that lining of the streets up until the point where the president gets here. Let's talk to that. I mean, we are going to see it, and you'll be able to talk to us in further detail. But just, you know, brief overview of.
Sorry, I've got to just figure out my audio switches on and off when I want to actually make a comment on stuff. So I'm just reading. I'm just read some comments here while we're watching. We're waiting. Apparently, he's only starting his actual address at 7 o'clock this evening, which is he's going to reflect on the political and economic issues. It's going to be bullshit. Harman says, Mork, I don't see the bang nationale. It's razor wire. Yeah, I know. It's weird. All the police have come out. Somehow they don't have an issue with crime like everybody else does in the country, because they don't have to worry about things like that. They're protected, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. We shouldn't have started so early, Dr. Ron. I shouldn't have. It's my fault. I apologize. I apologize, guys.
Yeah.
Let's hear what the media has to say.
And we'll get into more detail. This is the beauty of having the experts here, because they will talk us through everything that we see. And then, of course, you spoke about the deputy president.
Yes.
How many vehicles for the president?
Oh, God, don't tell
The
me.
motorbikes. The president gets allocated 28 motorbikes.
Why?
For the president, yes.
Why?
Yes. And 10 for the deputy president.
That's a lot of motorbikes.
Yeah,
That's a lot for this year's SONA year.
Well done that you pointed
Is
it
it
out.
always the same number?
No, it's not necessarily the same number, and the number is not, how shall I say, it's
relevant.
not so critical to it. Yes, it might be 24, it could be 28 motorbikes, depending on.
I'm sorry. Why? Why do you need 28 motorbikes? Like, why? Do you not imagine that we're paying for every single thing of that? Just have one motorbike. Have one motorbike. What are you trying to show? It's insane. Michael says a whole lot of nothing that costs a whole lot of taxpayers' money. What a joke. I completely agree with you, Michael. 100%, dude. 100%. On the money, bro. On the money. It's comments like that. That's why we're here tonight. That's the only reason. We'll see what the actual country thinks of this shit.
Is basically the moment that kind of opens formally the work of the parliament. As we do know, it's a joint sitting. Around 490 MPs expected to be in attendance, and we do have dignitaries. We've seen the former President Kgalema Motlanthe arriving, and we do have other former heads of state that we're expecting, and as well as other dignitaries as well, who are going to be forming part of the proceedings.
Indeed, and seeing the judiciary enter, I think the premiers, they've already entered. I think we may have just missed that. They have entered. So these proceedings well underway. And as we speak, of course, to our esteemed guests, the pictures will help them tell us the story. And speaking of, okay, here's some people. Is it like your uniform?
Sure.
Yes, it's a similar uniform to mine.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yes, this is the South African Military Health Service Band. They are going to assist now the formation of the SAMS grouping to march through along. So we are having 5 bands for today. We have the South.
I don't want to be a dick, but I mean, like, it's a little bit heavy set for, for the military or armed forces for serving. I just wanted to point that out. It's a bit, really.
2 bands from the South African Army.
They will be matching the South African Army contingent as well as for the South African Navy. Then we have one band from South African Military Health Service as well as the South African Air Force band.
And the reason I'm looking outside is because I'm seeing flags and I'm seeing different flags and I'm just wondering, you know, what they represent. There's a South African flag to our extreme right,
Yes.
and then there are how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 others.
Yes. So next to the South African flag, you will see there, that is the Department of Defense flag. It's followed by the South African Army flag, and then the South African Air Force, the South African Navy.
I just want to answer Invest Learn F2K. Apparently, well, I mean, just the rough estimates that I don't know what this is costing us. This is going to cost us a shit ton. But as far as I know, we pay, I think, the members of the parliament, I think there's like 400 members of parliament, we pay them starting at 1.2 to 1.4 million a year. That's what it's costing us, yeah.
These are non-commissioned officers that are there.
Oh, they're not commissioned. That's why they could be fat.
The
Okay, cool.
dignitaries as they arrive into the parliamentary precinct. They go on and stand by the doorway on the steps leading into the precinct.
So ceremonial, as it were.
Ceremonial, as it were, and they are also represented. Every arm of service is represented by the step guards.
And then after them, what are we to expect?
Okay, after them, we will then see the National Ceremonial Guard that will come and stand on attention, waiting to take now the official salute to the president when he arrives.
Okay, I'm just going to switch streams quickly.
And Lieutenant, for you,
They're buying time. Yes, Chantal, they are. Yes, I don't know which one's better. Is this... Oh my God! What? Oh my ears! My ears! Good Lord! What are you doing? Let's rather do this one. Good Lord!
aircraft. And perhaps maybe we'll take it all in for now.
Love this part of the proceedings. So for a minute, let's let these pictures tell the story.
That's true. That's true, CR. Cool groove though. Yeah, I completely agree with you. Just want to read the comment here. Some of us are tired of commenting about corruption, the state resources being abused, misused. This is all for show because after everything, nothing materializes. So it's a shame to all SA citizens. 100%. I think this is the feel that a lot of people in the country have. They're so over it. They've had enough, and yet somehow the president, the government they're so blind to it. They're like, they don't even notice that people don't care anymore. people don't give a shit. And this show of I don't know, of just opulence and like this like it feels like it kind of feels out of touch. It's out of touch like we see with the Grammys, where you've got the richest of the rich people coming out accepting awards, and you know, it's just going like, bro, like just get with it. Like just touch grass, for heaven's sake, touch some grass, please. Chantal says oven's beeping. It's a little bit too much for me. It's like, you know, like coming in and showing, like, listen, this is how much, this is what our military can do. Like, it's a cool show. I mean, this is probably the only time these people ever get to come out and display their, like, the military, whatever the, you know, whatever this is. I don't even know what part of the military this is. If this is part of the military, what this is. A ceremonial military guard. I mean, are these the guys that stand outside of Parliament protecting these people? The problem is we're going to have to go through them first. I'm joking. This is, also, guys, listen, it's a comedy show with a bit of politics, so if we make some jokes, we're just kidding, right?
So we await the arrival of President Cyril Ramaphosa. We are still in conversation with Brigadier General Selina Rowlands, the Director of Defense Corporate Communication, as well as Lieutenant.
Just on that, right? You could literally just go, guys, how about we just do a Zoom meeting? It's going to be quick. It's going to be, you know, it's going to be better. It's going to be efficient. It's going to be cheaper. Instead of this entire show every single year. I wonder what, like, I'm just going to see if I can find what this, I actually want to know. I want to know what this costs.
Gets to be part of the military guard of honor.
The National Ceremonial Guard is a unit on its own, being taken from the South African Army arm of service. These members are trained purely for ceremonial purposes. At the moment, they are led here by, and they are under the stewardship of Captain Naledi Khatle, and they are here now standing on guard, waiting to receive the president and accord him that ceremonial honor, the national salute.
And when you say it's they are there for ceremonial purposes, just expand on that. So that's all they do.
So yes, the ceremonial guard, that is all they do. They train. They are trained to be ceremonial. Their duties are when we are having ceremonial events, where they have to appear, where the president is, then they have to be there to be the guard of honor for the president.
What's the G? Thank you, good sir.
I haven't heard that before.
This is going to be a painful sonar. I agree with you.
That I'm hearing
I
that
actually thought
explanation.
when they finish, they go to.
Yeah, I'm actually, I'm surprised that they've got a ceremonial guard that's only point is to come out and do ceremonies. That's to me again, like, that's insane. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. That's just such a waste of our money. That's all of our money. They look.
If we do
Matthew.
Okay. And you always do it right.
Always. and it is possible, you know, because that timing is perfected. And these are the things, I must say, that many South Africans look forward to seeing. Just how well orchestrated it all is, how well oiled this machine is. But I'm hearing helicopters above us. And then we were speaking about the weather and how the weather can influence things. And I think it was said that the airspace, is it over Cape Town, CBD, or is it over this parliamentary precinct that it would be closed for this duration?
Yes, we'll set up a boundary. We'll make sure that a NOTAM goes out so that all aviators who want to operate in the area are well briefed in terms of what the lateral limits are on that airspace restriction.
And that from how long? From when till when?
There'll always be a start date and time as well as an end date and time.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. And
AJM.
you were telling us, Colonel
The president's probably
there
thinking,
was a
wow,
bit
this
of
looks
an
awesome.
incident
What do you
earlier
mean there's
concerning
unemployment, crime and
the
corruption?
weather.
Well,
Spot on,
actually,
dude. Spot
there
on.
was a
Spot
fire
on.
that was observed in the observatory area, and helicopters were sent to go and attend to the fire. So immediately our safety team here on the ground, they had to make sure that we deconflict so that it's not going to be a problem by the time the fly past takes place. So we're maintaining good communications through all of our channels to ensure that any aerial activity is well communicated and deconflicted.
So the helicopters above us now, what are they doing?
On the 44, I could, but I kind of feel like that would be cheating, right? But yeah, we could have done this yesterday.
So is that the
And I could
one
make a
who is
highlight
escorting
clip
the
of it.
president?
Yes.
Just the president, no one else? Yeah. Okay. And so when then, so do they escort the president from home, or is there a certain precinct where they start? And when then do they leave the parliamentary precinct?
All of that information will be briefed. The crew that are involved will have been given all of that information so that they can then plan their routes and ensure that they're available in time and in the right place.
I'm trying to see if I can locate the snipers. Seeing them this time around.
Brigadier smiling because he's thinking, you will never know.
The snipers. What?
No, you just know not going to see them.
Brigadier, you will never know. That is one information you will never know. You will never get to see them. I've been watching. I've been trying to locate some.
Okay, maybe let's switch
Someone
streams again. Let's
somewhere
see if the other one's a bit
unsuccessfully,
better.
I must say.
I think what we should be.
Sorry guys, give me a sec. There we go, let's try this one. That's Star Wars. Oh, damn it. SABC is still on ADSL. Rib, how are you, good sir? How are you, homie? Good to see you, mate. Please, guys, go follow our good friend Rip van Janbrek on X. He's an absolute awesome content, posts awesome content on X, absolute gangstar. Please go give him a follow. Also, if you haven't, if you're here for the first time, please hit the like, subscribe if you're enjoying it. It's kind of a comedy show. We do comedy stuff. And yeah, we're doing a bit of political commentary today. Just going to have a look and we're going to laugh and we're going to have fun, even though it's terrible. And all this is our money just being blown. We can still enjoy it. As South Africans, we can laugh about things. Sounds like we're having an audio glitch there. Let's just turn it down. It's schmeckle. Let's just check out some comments. What are we celebrating? Absolutely nothing. We're celebrating our money being blown. All our South Africans, just money being blown. Tyrone, I have no idea what that says. Yo people, what guan? Okay. What's up, guy? I think that's what you said.
What do you mean, you people?
Hi, Nicole. Nice to see you. Celebrating no sanctions. We've got some cool background music, so we can just read some comments. It'll be quite fun. Ah, thank you. Much appreciated, Michael. Really, really appreciate the kind words. It says, good podcast, chaps. Keep up the jokes. I really appreciate it. I really mean that. I just want to know why not have it in Johannesburg. I don't know. It's again, maybe it's the sunshine. It's the hotels. Maybe it's the Betties. Maybe like the Betties here a bit more. You know, the chickies are cute here. I don't know. Maybe it's just a thing because they can fly back and forth as much as they can. Apparently they are. Welcome, guys. Really awesome that you guys are pulling in and watching the stream. It's really good with you. President Cyril Ramaphosa, I think, is going to be arriving soon, as far as we know. I think his speech commences in probably like 15 to 20 minutes, plus minus. But, you know, it's going to be African time, so he might be a bit late. But we can't say that he's late because that would be racist. Who else is here? 709, yeah, it's awesome. Can't shower. Oh, that's why. There we go. Matthew says they can't do it in Cape Town, I can Joburg because there's no water. Pierre says it's because Parliament is in Cape Town. That's also very true. We're thinking of not the real reason. So any other reasons would be cool. Wonder who is the statue of Nelson waving, or is he doing something else? The band lives in Cape Town and there's no petrol money for them to get to Joburg. Good one. I'm mainstream news now, apparently. I've got to start lying now. I'm coming after you, Rip. I'm coming for you, hey? I'm gonna come expose you because that's what mainstream media does. It's a cool groove, man. What are you talking about? But you can just imagine that they're there and the guys are like, oh, like just this. No, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 more. We don't know what's going on. Just keep playing. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's also true. Yeah, there's a lot of potholes, and obviously, if they've got those luxury cars, they can't drive in those potholes because you'll just be sitting there like this. This post office is still delivering stock required for rebuilding the union buildings. That is true. What is happening? Have they started building that? Are they still building it? Does anybody know? Oh, what was that? There was a little bit of a glitch. Sorry about that. While we wait, I'm just quickly checking to see what the estimated costs around sonar are. Oh, okay, so just some interesting facts here while we're busy watching our money getting blown here. So apparently for 2026, the current State of the Nation address, the budget is apparently, just ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your horses and your chairs. The budget for this sonar address, just this is from 5 o'clock until about 8, 9, 10, well, this evening, right? It's going to cost you as a taxpayer, come a little closer, it's going to cost you as a taxpayer 7.25 million rand. 7 million rand it's costing us for this spiel. Apparently for last year, for 2025, the parliament budget for the sonar was 15.5 million. So we've cut some corners here, apparently. That's insane. Wait, no, hold on. I'm reading this wrong. No, apparently that's right. Last year was this year about 7 million rand. Last year they spent 15 million rand because they hired the ICC and stuff like that. So obviously that pushed costs up. Hey Jim, the same thing happened to me. I lived in town a few years ago, and the same thing happened. Stuck for about 3.5 hours, going from Woodstock to Gardens. It was absolutely terrible. I feel so sorry for people living in the city. It's just it's a shit show. This is my internet safe space. Thank you, Tian. Okay, so we've replaced the fighter jets that don't work anymore with this one little helicopter to show of strength, the country's military. It was supposed to be completed in building Parliament by February 2026. Matthew, absolute legend you are. Exactly. Yeah, it's just you know what we're doing? We're watching our tax money just go down the drain. It's never been this much fun. Listen, at least we're having fun watching a bad thing happen, okay?
The Speaker of the National Assembly, Dr. Annelien Lotrit, the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Mr. L. Govender, as well as the Secretary to the National Assembly, Mr. Masibulele Kaso. Of course, they are conducted by a protocol liaison officer,
Who is
Mr.
this
Mandel.
for?
He's been doing this work for
Who's
quite
this for?
a while.
No, like all
he's
of the shit
conducted
happening
them
now,
from the
because like
room, and they are
the
now
for
people
them.
aren't there
waiting
yet.
the
So
arrival of the deputy
Who's this?
and his
Who's
wife,
all this
Mr.
setting? Oh no, this is preparation for them. Think about it like the Oscars. It's self-indulgence. It's to celebrate ourselves. It's for us to feel amazing, look good. That's what it is. It's basically just like, oh my God, look how amazing I am. They can come out. It's like a night of like glitz and glamour, and they can show off and get treated like royalty. Basically, that's what they want to do. They want to feel like they're kings and queens, and they're special. It's their special day.
For praise singing, and this year it is the Khoisan, and the Ria, who is from Northern Cape, is the one who will be delivering the praise singing. As you can see, the Mrs. Mashadile and the Deputy President coming out of their car and being ushered, walking down the red carpet and walking towards the City Hall, the entrance of the City Hall, to be seated, being greeted by the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces.
And of course, this is how tradition is. And of course, after the Deputy Speaker, Dr. Annelien Lotrit, and the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Mr. Les Govender, have led the Deputy President of the Republic, Mr. Hog Hoggidy, into the chamber. We await the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Ramaphosa.
And it's important that the procession proceeds
everyone
to the chamber along the red carpet, that to just talk to the order. You can see in front is the Secretary to the National Assembly, Mr. Kaso, and then behind him is the Deputy Speaker and the Deputy President, and right behind them is the Deputy Chairperson.
I mean, 7 million in total. I don't know. They're probably spending R1 million on food. I don't know.
Of course, as you can see, after they have been led in, the band is about to resume as we await the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, to deliver the State of the Nation address for 2026.
Of course, that is South African and
no,
7
million.
Us. You can
seven,
see there,
just 7, not 70 million.
You can see them there in that corner, all dressed in white. We all know the colors of the nation.
But even 7 million is too much. This could have been a Zoom meeting, a Zoom call, honestly.
Other military units, including the Military Guard of Honor, in showcasing national pride and tradition, and safe to say that the band was established in 1954 and is a premier band in the South African National Defence Force, known for its exceptional talent and experience.
The Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly.
Okay.
The Deputy Chairperson.
Oh, okay, I think we're hearing from inside the building now.
That is the usher of the black rod there announcing the arrival of the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly and the Deputy Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces as they enter the chamber in the City Hall.
All right, and what we can expect now is to see the Speaker of the National Assembly as well as the National Council of Provinces being conducted from their holding room by the same protocolizing officer, Mr. Mandel, to receive the President of the Republic of South Africa, and the Secretary of Parliament will also be in attendance.
And of course, like I said, the band is playing as we await the long-awaited arrival of the President of the Republic, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, to deliver his State of the Nation
what's his
address
second
for the
name?
2026 year. And this year he will be outlining some of the priorities that will set the tone for the year ahead.
And of course, the military band and the ceremonial guard at SONA are typically comprise members of the South African National Defence Force, and the military band is made up of musicians from the SANDF's various bands, such as the Pretoria Band, the Cape Town Band, or other regional band. And the ceremonial guard, these are the soldiers from the SADF ceremonial units, often including the Guard of Honor, which is typically from the President's Guard and is part of SADF's ceremonial regiment. And other units may include soldiers from the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, as well as the military police. And these members are selected for their ceremonial duties, showcasing the SADF professionalism and pride.
And as the President arrives, we'll see the aides-de-camp. They will be standing in their designated positions at the point of arrival of the President vehicle, just in front of the City Hall. The aide-de-camp is a commissioned officer who assists the President, the Deputy President, Minister, Premier, or any senior military office. They act as a link between the principal and the military. They also perform ceremonial, administrative, and coordination duties. And we will see them. They are also considered to be senior military officers. They are appointed basically to serve as personal assistants to high-ranking officials, especially heads of state and senior commanders within the military.
And of course, the helicopters that you can hear on your screen there are a crucial part of state security apparatus, keeping the president and attendees safe throughout the event. They also form part of the ceremonies that you are seeing and the processions that are currently underway as we await the President of the Republic to deliver his State of the Nation Address 2026.
And of course, we now await the arrival of the President.
Yeah, you just said that. The chick that spoke next just said that. We know this. I just want to find out, is that helicopter just flying around in a circle above them?
Indicated that we await the arrival of
What happened to the jets?
He will be received by the
That's probably like where like $500,000 is going. Just that helicopter, just to circle for no reason whatsoever. I can hear it every now and again.
And
on my side, just like coming over, like not over, but like in the distance.
Second State of the Nation address in the 7th administration of Parliament. He also had what we call the opening of Parliament, which is different from the State of the Nation address. The opening of Parliament happens after a government has been established following elections.
Let's watch those processions as the President arrives at the Cape Town City Hall to deliver the State of the Nation Address for 2026.
And that will be the second of the Government of National Unity.
Well, that's very true, I know. But yeah, like they're going to look after themselves first. Ramaphosa and Parliament, they've put themselves in increase, and yeah, that'll come later. They're just going to give people just enough to survive. That's what they're doing with this bullshit.
And there you have it, and that is the Speaker of the National Assembly, and she is accompanied, or she is with, the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Ms. Refile Mtweni-Tsipane, together with the Secretary to Parliament, Mr. Kolile George, as they are about to receive the President of the Republic, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa.
And what is to happen, as you can see there, the President has just stepped out, and members of the SADF, you've seen there opening the doors for the President and his wife, and the aides-de-camp are standing in their designated positions at the point of arrival of the President's vehicle at the Cape Town City Hall. and the Speaker of the National Assembly, of course, and the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, together with the Secretary to Parliament in attendance, will receive and welcome the President and the First Lady of the Republic of South Africa.
And of course, some greetings there between the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Chairperson of the NCOP, the Secretary to Parliament, and they are greeting the President of the Republic, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, and the First Lady, Dr. Tshepo Motsepe.
And after this greeting, the President will ascend to the stage
great one. Thanks,
together
Peter.
with the Speaker and the Chairperson, where he will
No,
take the
Mork,
21
Matthew,
gun
stop
salute
it.
as we sing
Oh.
the national anthem.
And of course, we are 10 minutes away from the long-awaited delivery
Cyril's
of
wife
the State
looks like she's
of the Nation address. But before that, we will have the 21 gunshot salute. And this is where it is a formal military honor that is reserved for President Cyril Ramaphosa as the head of state. It symbolizes respect for the president, national significance, continuity and tradition, and of course, state authority.
Listen, I don't want to
And of
fat
course, the
shame.
President will
I don't
now
want to fat
proceed
shame,
to
but I'm
the
just going like,
saluting dais.
they look
It's
like
safe to
they're
say
they're
that the
they're
Secretary
doing
to
really
Parliament
well,
will
right?
not be
Like
proceeding
that's,
with them,
you know,
but
I'm just
will
saying.
rather proceed
like,
into the main entrance of the City Hall building. And
They're
the
not
Secretary
going
will then
hungry.
join
Like,
the
the people
Sergeant
in
at
South
Arms and
Africa
the usher
fucking
of the
like
Black-
are
of the Black
struggling,
Rock
bro. O's
in the
living in
passage
shacks, and
right
then
next to
the
the
president
entrance
rolls up with like
of
his.
the
I'm just
chamber,
going like,
while the
maybe
First
maybe
Lady
you
is
shouldn't
being
come.
taken to a
It's going to
seat in
send a bad
gallery
impression to the
by a
rest of the world. Like
protocol
people over here, like in
officer
South
in the-
Africa, like
in the
they can't even
presidency. And the
rub
acting
ends
chief
meet
of state
together.
protocol, Mr. DJ Sitole, you've seen him there assisting, who's a divisional manager, is also in attendance to the president, the speaker, and the chairperson of the NCOP.
As you can see, some conversation there between the Speaker, the President, and the Chairperson of the NCOP just before the President proceeds to the podium right in front of the City Hall.
And of course, the standing order on the saluting dais will be as follows. It will be the President of the Republic, it will be the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, and then it will be the Speaker of the National Assembly together with 2 aide-de-camps. And on the command of national salute, present arms, only the President acknowledges the salute by placing his right hand on his chest while the national anthem is played. A 21-gun salute and salute flight is given by the South African National Defence Force.
And after that, the President returns his hand to his side on the command slope arms. The President does not inspect the guard of honor. And the aides-de-camp do not salute
Why are you laughing?
during the national salute as well. On the same
Stop
command
it.
slope arms, the aides-de-camp execute an about turn
Wait, that
march
one?
and take up
No,
their positions on the
right.
red carpet. And on the
Which
command
one?
podium ground about turn, the President, the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces turn around and descend the saluting
Stop
dais.
it! No, stop
And
it!
then
The
the
guys, we
President,
can't.
the
Let's not be
Speaker of the
mean,
National
right?
Assembly, and the Chairperson of the NCOP, they will then descend the saluting dais and proceed to the
hold
main entrance of the Cape Town City Hall.
Hi.
Oh my god! Oh my god! My ears! Was that one jet? Why aren't they singing? Isn't it? was singing along. I promise.
Thank you. Yeah, it did.
Hot mic.
Let me go back inside.
Hot mic.
Probably
Turn it
still
off.
hooked up
Somebody in
and
the audio,
stuff.
turn it
I
off.
know. I'm tired of talking.
Sorry. Guys, as you're right here, right now, just remember to hit the like, the subscribe, follow. We do a Monday. We're live every Monday night, 7:30, and every Thursday night at 7:30 and Saturday morning. So come pop in, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and come hang out. We're kind of a comedy show. We do politics, but we have fun. We have fun with stuff.
I'll
Is
be
that
back
it
now.
now?
I'm gonna get some more.
That was. Go for it, dude. Yeah, I probably need one as well.
Of National Council of Provinces, as well as the Secretary to Parliament, into the chamber. And of course, you would have seen there the President acknowledging the salute of the third guard with a nod as the procession passes at the VIP entrance of the City Hall and proceeds together with the Speaker of the National Assembly, as I've just outlined, the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, and they were led by the two aides-de-camp to the passageway to join the Sergeant at Arms, the Usher of the Black Rod, and the Secretary to Parliament to form up the parliamentary procession, which will proceed into the chamber.
And of course, what you have just witnessed is a public recognition of the President's office. It signals to citizens that this is a major state event, and it links South Africa to global ceremonial norms while maintaining a local identity. And in the chamber, members are awaiting the arrival of the President, the Speaker of the National Assembly, and the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces.
And of course, we are waiting the Sergeant at Arms to announce the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Chairperson of the National Council. But let's listen into the House.
She's saying mean things to him or good things to him? She's just standing there going, yeah, such a dumbass, blah, 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 blah. And he's just going like, oh, this is cool. He just got insulted by the Khoisan and he was like, oh, this is awesome.
Order, honorable members. There will now be an opportunity for silent prayer and meditation.
They're praying for more money. They're praying for more tax money. That's what they're doing. Every time they pray in Parliament, they're just praying that how can we tax these people more?
Honorable members, We will try next time to add just 1 minute so that we can finish the prayers and meditation. Would like to thank our praise singer, and very importantly, that this year is the 30 years of our Constitution, and she gave the poem in Kuntail
Is she out of breath?
language,
From walking from the front to the there. Oh my
which
God.
recognizes the importance
That's not good.
of the Khoi and the San members of our society. Honorable members, the leaders of our political parties who are here present with us in the gallery, our former heads of state, our former presiding officers who are here, our First Lady, the Judiciary, the premiers of our provinces, the speakers, and all honored guests that have been invited by Parliament to grace this important occasion where we would be listening to the State of the Nation address. Would like also to acknowledge our members at home who are watching these proceedings online. Honorable members, the President has called this joint sitting of the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces in terms of Section 84, subsection 2D of the Constitution of the Republic of South Africa, read with Joint Rule 13, subsection 1, subsection A, to deliver his State of the Nation address to Parliament. I now call on the Honorable the President, His Excellency Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, to address the joint sitting. Honorable President. Honorable members, may we be seated to allow the President to address the nation. Honorable President.
Here we go.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Mr. Hog Hoggidy Hog, the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, Ms. Refile Mtsweni-Tsipane, former President Kgalema Motlanthe, former Chairperson of the NCOP, Mr. Amos Masondo, former Chairperson of the NCOP, Dr. Naledi Pandor, Mayor of Cape Town, Alderman Jordan Hill-Lewis, he was nervous. He thought I wouldn't be able to pronounce his first name because it's wrongly spelled. Deputy Chief Justice Dunstan Mlambo, Chairperson of the National House of Traditional and Khoisan Leaders, Khosi Thabo Siahlulo, Isithwalandwe, Mayor Sophie de Bruyn, President of Contralesa, Khoshi Mutupa Mukwena, Members of Parliament, Premiers of our provinces, fellow South Africans. 70 years ago, thousands of women of all races marched to the Union buildings, their hearts beating with a common purpose. Armed with extraordinary cunning and resolve, these women braved police checkpoints and harassment. In a voice loud and clear, they said, "We shall not rest until we have won for our children their fundamental rights of freedom, justice, and security." We recall the powerful image of Lillian Ngoyi, Helen Joseph, Sophie de Bruyn, and Rahima Musa, carrying armfuls of petitions to lay at the doorstep of a prime minister who did not dare to meet them. Every petition they handed over carried the weight of justice. Each of the 100,000 signatures they had collected expressed a desire for freedom and equality. For 30 minutes,
sorry about that, that wasn't me.
The 20,000 women stood on the steps of the amphitheater of the union buildings in silence, not singing, not moving, not speaking. The powerful imagery of these women standing in silence illustrated their resolve and their commitment to bring change about. Their silence reflected the deep emotional pain and frustration born out of systemic apartheid oppression. Their silence showcased the sorrow and the anger that these women felt in their fight for justice and equality. Their silence was long enough to be unsettling to the apartheid officials who were watching them. In that quiet moment, they showed the world that it is not the shouts of anger, but the stillness of determination that moves mountains. After the silence came the singing of the now eternally famous chant that has gone down in our struggle history, symbolizing the powerful role played by women in the struggle against apartheid. They chanted, "Watinta Bafazi, Watinti Mbogodo." Translated, it means you strike a woman, you strike a rock. It is said that the women's chant rolled down the terraces of the union buildings, turning the seat of state power into a stage of protest, where courage meets authority. This evening we are honored to have amongst us Mam Sophie de Bruyn, one of the leaders that marched and a stalwart of our struggle for freedom. She and many other women who have made enormous sacrifices in our struggle for freedom remind us that women have always been at the forefront of change, ready to stand up, to be counted, to speak out, and never back down in the fight for justice. To mark this anniversary, I'd like to ask you to rise and give a standing ovation to the women of South Africa who marched on the Union buildings in 1956.
We may be seated.
Mam Sophie de Bruyn, I can see where you are seated. Please stand up so that we can see you. It was 50 years ago, in that same spirit of defiance and struggle, that young people in Soweto walked out of school and marched towards Orlando Stadium, to oppose the imposition of Afrikaans as a medium of instruction and the hated system of Bantu education. Their courage in the face of a brutally oppressive regime reverberated around the world and brought renewed attention to our struggle. The determination and sacrifices of the youth of 1976 and the generations of young people that would follow continue to inspire us. We thank the young people of 1976. "30 years ago, in 1996, in this very precinct, in the Houses of Parliament, the Constitutional Assembly adopted the text on which our democratic nation is founded. Our Constitution reflects the spirit of those women who marched in 1956, and the young people of 1976, and the many South Africans from all walks of life who fought for our freedom. It is a Constitution that reflects the aspirations of the people of South Africa for a nation that is united and at peace, a nation that has thrown off the shackles of oppression and a divided past. It is a Constitution that calls on us not only to redress the injustices of the past, but to progressively realize the right of all South Africans to housing, to health, to food, to water, to social security, to education, and to a better and prosperous life for all. Today, we must realize these aspirations in a world that is rapidly changing, a world in which narrow self-interest has replaced the common good, a world in which trade is used as an instrument of cohesion, a world in which might is right and the powerful impose themselves on the weak. To navigate this new world, we must draw on our strength as a nation. Our strength comes from our values, as articulated in our Constitution. The values of dignity, of equality, of non-racialism, non-sexism, diversity, and of the inherent worth of every person. It comes from our people. Our strength comes from our people, from our tolerance, from our generosity, kindness, and solidarity. It comes from our steadfast commitment to upholding the rights and affirming the dignity of people in our society who face prejudice and discrimination, including persons with disabilities and members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Our strength comes from our determination and resolve. It comes from our creativity and inspiration. As we navigate this new world, we must rely on that strength, the strength that comes from our natural endowments, from the minerals in our earth and the richness of our soil, from the beauty of our mountains and shores. Our strength comes from our institutions, which are robust, independent, and from the spirit of democracy and freedom that lives deep within all of us. Our strength and power comes from one another. It comes from what we can achieve when we work together. Our strength also comes from our respect for one another, even as we may differ on various issues. Our strength also comes from our sporting men and women who continue to lift the South African flag on the world stage and bring glory to our nation. Now, as we reflect on the state of our nation, we can say that we are stronger today than we were a year ago. Our economy is growing again, and this growth is gathering pace. While we have experienced 4 consecutive quarters of GDP growth, we know that it has to grow much higher and much faster to meet our social and economic challenges. We have achieved 2 consecutive primary budget surpluses. Our credit rating has improved. Interest rates are coming down. And inflation is at its lowest level in 20 years. We are on a clear path of stabilizing our national debt. The rand has strengthened against the dollar. The Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the largest stock exchange on the African continent, has performed exceptionally well over the past year. This growth reflects broader economic recovery, investor confidence, and increasing interest in South Africa's economy and equities. Our borrowing costs have been declining. Through Operation Vulindlela, we've made significant progress in accelerating economic reform and opening the way for investment competition. We have brought an end to load shedding and built a more dynamic and resilient energy system. We have made progress in improving the performance of our ports and freight rail lines, steadily increasing the volume of goods that we move in and out of our country. We have restored our passenger rail system. More and more commuters are now able to travel to work on newly locally made trains, significantly reducing their traveling costs. We are investing across our country in roads, in bridges, in rail lines, in ports, in dams, and in solar farms. We have created over 2.5 million opportunities through the presidential employment stimulus, mainly for young people and women. The expanded works program and community work program continue to offer job opportunities to many throughout the country. Last year, we saw the highest matric pass rate in our history, with more than two-thirds. Now, with more than two-thirds of all bachelor passes coming from schools in the most disadvantaged communities. Now, as the economy continues to grow, the rate of unemployment must come down. By expanding our social protection system through the SRD grant, we have reduced the number of people living in food poverty. We are strengthening our anti-corruption laws. Our country has been removed from the grey list of financial action task team. We continue to make the progress that was difficult to make in previous years. The work we have done to rebuild key institutions from state capture is showing results. The South African Revenue Service is once again a world-class tax authority. The investigating directorate continues with its work and is making progress in the prosecution of those who need to be prosecuted. Most importantly, our democratic system is maturing. Our democratic system is maturing and growing stronger. The government of national unity, you will love this, has shown that it is possible for South Africans to come together from across the political spectrum to work on a common agenda for growth and progress. Last year, we hosted the leaders of the world for a successful G20 summit, which showcased our country's strength on the global stage. Confidence is rising amongst investors, business people, and consumers. Now, these improvements are the result of a determined effort across government and across society. They show what is possible when we work in unity and we work with unity of purpose. Now we have a unique window of opportunity to translate these gains into sustained growth. Despite this progress, we must be honest about the challenges that we still face. Although we are moving forward, we must not claim any easy victories. We are still far from where we need to be. For too many people, life remains hard. Jobs are scarce and opportunity is out of reach. South Africans are worried about violent crime and corruption. They are concerned at the state of local government and its inability to deliver basic services in many parts of the country. Above all, they are desperate for work and for an income to support their families. We can only be strong when we are equal, when the progress we have made is shared by all South Africans. The Constitution calls on us to work towards a society in which every South African has a fair chance to make a better life for themselves, in which every child receives a decent education and an opportunity to work and to thrive, a society in which we reclaim our public spaces and meet one another in the streets as equals.
Hello there.
In which the state works for the people and the corrupt face consequences. This State of the Nation address outlines the actions that we have taken since last year and the steps we will take this year to advance the strategic priorities of the Government of National Unity. And these priorities, to remind ourselves, are firstly, to drive inclusive growth and job creation. Secondly, to reduce poverty and tackle the high cost of living. And thirdly, to build a capable, ethical and developmental state. This evening, we outline the work we must do, work that we must do together to build stronger communities and a stronger nation. We outline the work we must do together to build a South Africa that is more prosperous, more inclusive, and more peaceful, more united, and ultimately more equal. A stronger South Africa must be safe and secure. The cost of crime is measured in lives that are lost, and futures
Rainbow Sugar Pop has become a member.
Short.
What cack is
it
this
is
twat now
felt
talking?
also in the sense of fear that permeates our society and in the reluctance of businesses to invest. Children here in the Western Cape are caught in the crossfire of gang wars. People are chased out of their homes by illegal miners in Kagiso, in Gauteng, Poba Mogale as well. Women are murdered by their partners in their homes. Building sites are shut down by criminals. This must and will change. Organized crime is now the most immediate threat to our democracy, our society, and our economic development. Our primary focus this year is on stepping up the fight against organized crime and criminal syndicates. And we will do so using technology, intelligence, and integrated law enforcement. We will tackle organized crime by consolidating intelligence at national level, identifying priority syndicates, and deploying hand-picked multidisciplinary intervention teams focused on dismantling criminal networks. To strengthen our fight, against gang violence, I will be deploying the South African National Defence Force to support the police Now, thank you. As I said, I will be deploying the South African National Defence Force to support the police as we did to great effect with illegal mining. I have directed the Minister of Police and the SANDF to develop a technical plan on where our security forces should be deployed within the next few days in the Western Cape and in Gauteng to deal with gang violence and illegal mining. Now, as is required by the Constitution, I will inform the National Assembly and the National Council of Provinces regarding the timing and place of the deployment of our soldiers and what it will cost. We have to act to rid our country of gang violence. At the same time, we are implementing an integrated strategy to address the root causes of crime through coordinated interventions across society, from street lighting to access to social services. We are going to tackle gun crime by streamlining legislation and regulations on licensing, possessing and trading in firearms and ammunition. We will increase enforcement of existing gun laws. We are putting more boots on the ground through the recruitment this year of 5,500 police officers, adding to the 20,000 new officers we announced previously in the State of the Nation address. We are also addressing the threat posed by the infiltration of illegal and counterfeit goods to South African jobs and industry. We are establishing a national illicit economy disruption program that brings together key state agencies and other stakeholders, including the private sector. Through the effective use of data analytics, AI, we will be targeting high-risk sectors like tobacco, fuel, alcohol, and other counterfeit products. The hearings of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry and the hearings that are going on in the ad hoc committee here have exposed rampant corruption in the SAPS and some Metro Police departments through the abuse of power. We cannot tolerate this. The rule of law depends on a police service that is ethical, responsive, and rooted in the communities that it serves. The South African Police Service has established a task team to ensure that investigations arising from the Madlanga Commission are undertaken swiftly without interference. The State Security Agency will re-vet the senior management of the South African Police Service
Atwistle have
and
donated
Metro Police
199
Department.
South African rand and
The
99
vetting
cents.
process
Big
will
shout out
include
to Mork
lifestyle audits as well.
Guys, hit that subscribe, it is free.
As we have successfully done with previous commissions, we will use the recommendations of the Madlanga Commission to make far-reaching changes. We are determined that the Commission's findings and recommendations will lay the basis for a fundamental reform of our criminal justice system. We are confident that these efforts will succeed because the great majority of police officers are dedicated to upholding the law and diligently serving the people of South Africa. Now, drawing on the success of Operation Vulindlela in advancing economic reform, we will use a similar approach to establish a hard-hitting new criminal justice reform initiative. This will crack down on organized crime, on illicit firearms and trade, using a dedicated team to ensure that reforms are implemented across the system. We are further intensifying the fight against corruption by strengthening bodies such as the Special Investigating Unit, the National Prosecuting Authority, and the Hawks. We will finalize government's approach to the recommendations of the National Anti-Corruption Advisory Council on the establishment of a permanent, independent, overarching anti-corruption body. We cannot accept that those who speak out against corruption are victimized, targeted, and killed. The Whistleblower Protection Bill will be introduced in Parliament. Among other things, this will criminalize retaliation
At Matty Dixon Czar has
and
become a member.
provide
If you still
psychosocial,
vote EFF,
legal, and
MK,
financial support
ANCDA,
to whistleblowers.
you are stupid.
And there will be a special focus on restructuring our procurement system with a view to ending corruption. The Auditor General reports that the majority of incidents of corruption originate in the procurement system. We cannot allow this cancer to continue, and we must therefore act. Measures will be taken. Measures that we will take will include the use of technology and the finalization of the new Public Procurement Act regulations by mid-2026. We cannot fight organized criminals by treading softly. We must act with zero tolerance and bring the full force of the law to bear. And I'd like this message to be clear. There will be no impunity for acts of criminality and corruption. In addition to crime, water is now the single most important issue for many people in our country, from large cities like Johannesburg to smaller towns like Knysna and rural areas like Guyana. We have all seen the pain that our people have been expressing through demonstrations in various parts of Gauteng. Now, these protests have been fueled by the frustrations that our people are feeling over inadequate, unreliable access to basic services such as water. I have directed the Minister of Water and Sanitation and her deputy, as well as the Minister of Cooperative Governance, to attend to the water shortage problem and engage with our communities. Now, I can see you are excited. As we speak.
Order, honorable members. Can we please lessen our voices so that members can hear the message? Thank you.
As we speak, they are in Gauteng at the moment, engaging with our people, explaining to them precisely how government intends to immediately deal with the challenges that our people are experiencing. They have informed me that the pipes that had been damaged are being repaired and the reservoirs are filling up again. Now, this comes from poor planning, inadequate maintenance of water systems by many of our municipalities, and the main cause of the problems are now the reason why we are now having empty taps. There is no silver bullet to address this challenge, which has its roots in systemic failures and many years of neglecting infrastructure. To ensure water security is in the long term, we are building new dams, upgrading existing infrastructure. We have committed 156 billion rand in public funding for water and sanitation infrastructure over the next 3 years. The construction of the Lesotho Highlands Water Project and other large-scale projects like the Ntabelanga Dam, part of the Umzimvubu Water Project in the Eastern Cape, is advancing. And we are in the final stages of establishing a national water resource infrastructure agency to effectively manage the country's water infrastructure and mobilize funding for infrastructure. However, the real challenge lies not in the availability of water, but in getting water to people's taps. The Water Services Amendment Act, or bill, will enable us to hold water service providers accountable for their performance, and if they don't perform, to be able to withdraw their licenses if they do not deliver. If a municipality is not willing or able to provide a service to its residents, then it must be done by another structure that can do so. Now, these reforms will address the root causes of the water crisis. In the short term, we need to address the immediate crisis where water outages are being experienced right now. 3 years ago, when we were experiencing daily power cuts, we established the National Energy Crisis Committee to enable a focused national response. We overcame what seemed like an insurmountable challenge by adopting a clear plan and delivering on it. Using the same approach, we will now elevate our response to water crisis to a National Water Crisis Committee, which I will chair. The structure will bring together all existing efforts into a single coordinating body. The Deputy President has been working with a number of water authorities in the country, and we will coordinate all that to make sure that we address this problem. It will deploy technical experts and resources from national government to municipalities facing water challenges. It will ensure that action is taken swiftly and effectively to address the problem. To address the challenges effectively, we will not hesitate to use the powers that are enshrined in our Constitution and in the Water Services Act to intervene in municipalities where necessary. National government cannot stand by and believe that local government will be able to solve the problem which they are not able to solve. National government will therefore intervene. We will hold to account those who neglect their responsibility to supply water to our people. Government has already laid criminal charges against 56 municipalities that have failed to meet their obligations. We will now move to even lay charges against municipal managers for violating the National Water Act. The critical problem is that in many metros, in many of our cities and towns, water revenue is being used for other purposes.
Hello there.
And very little is invested in upgrading and maintaining water infrastructure. To address this challenge, in line with the commitment that we made last year, we have introduced a new 54 billion rand incentive for metros to reform their water and sanitation electricity services. This will ensure that the revenue from water usage is put straight back into fixing pipes, into fixing reservoirs, and into pumping stations. Water outages are a symptom of a local government system that is not working. A far-reaching overhaul is now underway to address the root causes of dysfunction in many of our municipalities. In many places, local government administrations are weak, don't have the capacity, and are also governed by patronage rather than by technical capacity and merit. In her most recent report on local government, the Auditor General said, local government is characterized by inefficient accountability, failing service delivery, poor financial management and governance, weak institutional capability and widespread instability. She says that arresting the decline of local government will require our collective action. We are now taking collective action. Learning from our experience of the past 30 years, we will in the coming months finalize a revised white paper on local government. This will provide solutions for the functioning of an effective local government system. The white paper will reimagine the way that our local government should work. The current system is too complex and fragmented, expecting even small and weak municipalities to take on many responsibilities. We will propose fundamental changes that recognize the reality that some municipalities can take on more functions than others, and that we need a differentiated approach to municipal powers and responsibilities. We're also proposing a more structured cooperation between municipalities and traditional and Khoisan leadership institutions to enable community engagement and shared problem solving. We will ensure that senior officials in local government have the required qualifications and are appointed through an independent process free from political interference. Where municipalities fail, we will strengthen the ability of national government to intervene more quickly and to direct corrective measures in the interest of serving our people better. These changes may be difficult, but they must be done. While these fundamental reforms are underway, we will continue to implement targeted support to improve the delivery of basic services through the presidential working groups on eThekwini and Johannesburg. While we have made progress in stabilizing eThekwini, which has led to investor confidence returning. There is much more that needs to be done in Johannesburg to deal with collapsing infrastructure, financial mismanagement, and electricity and water interruptions. The same applies to a few other metros in our country as well. There are many committed people with skills and experience working in local government. It is our responsibility to remake, reorganize, and better resource municipalities so that they can continue doing their work. As a country, we're increasingly vulnerable to extreme weather conditions. And just a few weeks ago, catastrophic flooding in Limpopo and Mpumalanga, as well as parts of KZN, caused the loss of a number of lives and widespread destruction of homes, schools, clinics, and other infrastructure. I visited Guyane, and where there were 16 houses, nicely built houses, as we arrived, it was just an open field. The houses had been washed away. It was like there were no houses ever before. The foundations, the roofs, and all that had been washed away. The classification of floods as a national disaster has enabled national and provincial government to prioritize funding to address the most pressing needs of the people who are affected. A stronger South Africa depends on a growing economy. For more than 15 years, our economy has experienced low growth. All our actions are now driven by the need for rapid and inclusive economic growth to create more jobs and to create, for that matter, better quality jobs. To give effect to the medium-term development plan, Cabinet has approved a comprehensive implementation plan to drive growth and inclusion. Through this plan, we are working to revive growth by creating conditions for firms or companies to invest by maintaining a clear and stable macroeconomic framework, investing in infrastructure that works, creating a conducive regulatory framework that supports growth and enables competition, and a focused and forward-looking industrial policy. The foundations of this plan is investment, particularly in public infrastructure, as well as labor-intensive growth sectors that are capable of future growth. Now, these include the digital and green economy, where young people will find employment opportunities. Infrastructure is much more than an investment in brick, mortar, concrete, and steel. It is an investment in jobs, in productivity, in growth. For many years, fixed investment has been declining. We are now changing all that. Government has committed more than 1 trillion rand in public investment over 3 years to build and maintain infrastructure. This is the largest allocation of its kind in our country's history, and it will be transformative. It will create jobs. Through the Infrastructure Fund and the new regulations for public-private partnerships, we are using innovative funding models, reducing risk and attracting investors to fast-track projects in energy, in water, in transport, and in the digital infrastructure. We launched our first-ever infrastructure bond to raise funding for the infrastructure drive that we have embarked upon, which was more than 2 times oversubscribed, showing that when we have put our resolve forward and have put forward innovative ways of raising money, those with money, the private sector, do respond. Disputes arising from implementation of tenders often delay the implementation of necessary infrastructure. We often find that when an infrastructure project is about to be embarked upon, competitors start taking each other to court, and waiting for the long court process always delays the start of those projects. To prevent undue delays in critical projects, we will establish specialized courts for commercial matters with dedicated judges and dedicated court roles to ensure faster outcomes in matters that have a bearing on the economy and development. This will speed up the development of our infrastructure. This year, we will begin the work to establish a professional state property company to transform the 88,000 buildings and 5 million hectares of land owned by the state into professionally managed engines of growth and development. I see you like this one very much. I will repeat it. Now, through Operation Vulindlela, we are working to transform the structure of our economy, to fix our infrastructure, and make our electricity, water, and logistics sectors more competitive and more efficient. Having put load shedding behind us, we must now transform our energy system to ensure long-term energy security. For decades, our economy grew on the back of cheap electricity. But then state capture, mismanagement, inadequate maintenance, and inflated mega projects drove up the cost of electricity to businesses and to ordinary citizens. Now, with the far-reaching changes that we are making to the sector, and with our abundant solar and wind resources, we will be able to drive down the cost of electricity. Regulatory changes have enabled a massive and growing pipeline of investment in renewable energy. By 2030, more than 40% of our energy supply will be coming from cheap, clean, renewable energy sources. We are now establishing a level playing field for competition so that we are never again exposed to the risk of relying on a single supplier to meet our energy needs. We are restructuring ESCOM and establishing a fully independent state-owned transmission entity, as I have said before. This entity will have ownership and control of transmission assets and be responsible for operating the electricity market. Given the importance of this restructuring for the broader reform of the electricity sector, I have established a dedicated task team under the National Energy Crisis Committee to address the various issues relating to the restructuring process, including clear timeframes for its phased implementation. The Minister of Electricity and Energy, Minister of Finance, and the Minister of the Presidency, and other ministers will all work together to make sure that we come up with clear proposals and timelines and how this will be phased in terms of implementation. This task team will report to me within 3 months. In addition, we will this year commence the first round of independent transmission projects to enable private investment in expanding our national grid. There has been tremendous interest. There's been tremendous interest in investments in our transmission process. We will work in each province to address transformer overloading, illegal connections, and equipment failure with the objective of eradicating load reduction by next year. We are committed to the path that we have embarked upon to modernize our energy system. We have begun to turn around the performance of our rail system and ports so that our businesses can get their products to global markets. We have now enabled private rail operators to access our network on a concessionary basis, which will now allow different rail companies to compete to move volumes from road to rail. Later this year, we will initiate major public-private partnerships in our port terminals and rail corridors through a concession model that preserves public ownership by the state while mobilizing private investment and expertise. Last month, we concluded a partnership with an international port operator to manage the Durban Pier 2 container terminal, the largest in our country. Pier, you're right. This partnership, something good also comes from your side. This partnership will result in new investment in equipment and infrastructure at the port and will bring it back to world-class standards. We continue preparations for the introduction of high-speed rail in South Africa. I know you love this one. Now I've been saying that we would like this to cover initially routes such as Johannesburg and Musina and eThekwini to Johannesburg. Now, it often takes, high-speed trains are happening in many parts of the world. They have cut down the time of travel, and in my book, it should no longer take 5 to 6 hours to travel from eThekwini or Durban to Johannesburg, 4.5 hours from Johannesburg to Messina, when it can be done in a much shorter space of time. Our people want it, and progress is now being made. Nearly 30 companies indicated their willingness to participate in high-speed rail corridors when we put out the request for information last year. We are preparing to send out a request for proposals which will introduce a new era of long-distance rail travel in South Africa at a faster pace. We are determined to compete in a rapidly changing global economy. Our industrial policy focuses on areas where we have competitive advantage, where we can create jobs, and where we can drive up exports. Our trade policy is aimed at promoting sustainable development, growth, and strengthening our international partnerships. In a world where countries are looking to diversify their supply chains, we have an opportunity to ramp up our exports across the globe. We have a diverse economy, high-quality manufacturing facilities, and strong regulatory frameworks. We are strengthening our capacity for trade negotiations and expanding our missions abroad to drive economic diplomacy. Amid the turmoil in the global economy, we are supporting our established industries in the face of strong headwinds. We have moved to revive our ferrochrome industry and to protect jobs in our steel industry, in our automotive and other sectors which employ hundreds of thousands of South Africans in good quality jobs. Ministers are crunching the numbers on a daily basis, seeking to protect the jobs that could be lost through the decline of these industries that are now facing fierce competition We are working with businesses and workers to close loopholes in our tariff structure and develop additional measures to protect and grow our manufacturing base. As we protect jobs in vulnerable industries, we remain focused on sectors that will drive future growth. We know that we can create millions of good quality jobs in sectors like agriculture, mining, and services industry, as well as in the green economy. These are areas where we can be more than competitive. We can be the best in the world. Our agricultural sector is expanding rapidly. Already we are the second largest exporter of citrus fruit in the world. We are opening new markets for our exports, from citrus to avocados to maize, livestock, grapes, and wine. Through the blended finance scheme, working with the Land Bank and the commercial banks, we have provided 7.8 billion rand in innovative funding for black producers. We will deploy 10,000 new extension officers to support farmers and to improve agricultural productivity. This will give rise to many opportunities for young people to be employed in the agricultural sector. I saw how this works extremely well in Ethiopia, in the agricultural sector, which was really the worst sector. They employed 40,000 or so extension officers who support farmers. And all of a sudden, agriculture has now become the best performing sector in the economy. While the rest of our agriculture is thriving, the cattle industry today is facing one of the worst outbreaks of foot and mouth disease our country has ever experienced. This disease is damaging our economy, resulting in export bans, trade restrictions, and the devastation of herds. We have decided to vaccinate the entire national herd of 14 million cattle. This requires 28 million vaccines over the next few months. The state will facilitate the acquisition of the vaccines centrally to ensure that we get the right vaccine for the particular strain of the virus in South Africa. Like during COVID, many people felt tempted that they wanted to acquire vaccines for themselves. But because we are a regulated economy and country, we wanted everything to be approved by our authority, SAPRA. Similarly, in this case, with cattle vaccines, SAPRA, our authority, will be the one single organization that will give approval. We will work closely with the private sector to enable an efficient rollout, and most importantly, we will ensure that commercial, private, and communal farmers have immediate access to vaccines. Now, I have established a task team made up of farming organizations, farmer organizations and experts, working together with the Minister of Agriculture and his department that will report to me every month about the progress we are making in dealing with the pandemic. Now, why do we do this? We do this because we've got experts. We've got people with great knowledge. We need to mobilize them. We need to bring them to work with government because they have the know-how and the wisdom. We have classified foot and mouth disease as a national disaster and will be mobilizing all necessary capabilities within the state to deal with this crisis. Our services sector, from digital technology to financial services, is growing. Our financial institutions are some of the best in the world, and they have the ability to compete in Africa and across the globe. We are attracting major investment in digital infrastructure, with 55 data centers already built and more than 50 billion of investment expected over the next few years. Tourism is a vital driver of economic growth. With every 13 international tourist arrival, they support one job. Our tourism sector made history last year, recording the arrival of 10.5 million visitors from overseas. We must now promote unique cultural, historical, and natural attractions of our country to reflect our country's identity. This can include traditional festivals, cultural areas in our country, local crafts, historical sites, and natural landscapes across the country in rural areas as well. As we strengthen our criminal justice system, we will make areas safer for tourists to visit. In the coming year, we will extend the electronic travel authorization system to all countries that require visas, enabling applications for tourists to be processed digitally within a 24-hour period. Now, the biggest opportunity of all lies in the green economy. We are pivoting our economy to be a leading supplier of products which the world will rely on in decades to come. We are expanding support for manufacturing of green
has
products
become a member.
for global
ANC
markets,
know they on the ropes.
from
They
fertilizer
don't give
to
a
jet
damn.
fuel, chemicals to steel. From March this year, we will introduce 150% tax deduction for investment in new energy vehicles, while supporting the local production of batteries as well. International pledges to the Just Energy Transition Investment Plan now stand at approximately 250 billion rand. This is financing large-scale investment in manufacturing, infrastructure, as well as skills. South Africa has become the world's largest reserve of critical minerals. Our ore reserves are valued at more than 40 trillion rand, making mining a sunrise industry. After many years of declining investment in exploration, we are dedicating funds towards geological mapping and exploration to harness our critical mineral reserves. Just this week, the Industrial Development Corporation announced more than 300 million rand in funding for the Frontier Rare Earths project in the Northern Cape. This has the potential to become one of the largest and lowest cost new producers of minerals that are needed for smartphones, lithium batteries, and other products. Confidence in the future of South African mining was very evident during the mining indaba this week here in Cape Town. New gold, copper, rare earths, platinum, and coal mines are being opened. And black people are players, serious players in this industry now of late. And we are happy about that. At the G20 Leaders Summit in November last year, the G20 countries supported our proposal to expand local beneficiation of critical minerals and the export of finished goods. Critical minerals beneficiation that should take place at the source of extraction, right where the minerals are found. Over the course of the first 5 South African investment conferences, we were able to raise 1.5 trillion rand in investment commitments. To date, over 600 billion that was committed has flowed into projects. New factories, mines and other facilities are being opened each year. We have now set ourselves a target of raising 2 trillion rand in new investments over the next 5 years. We therefore look forward to hosting the 6th South African Investment Conference on the 31st of March of 2026. To build a more inclusive economy, we are going to back those who create opportunity. If every small and medium business in South Africa could employ one additional person, we would create 3 million new jobs. But many of these businesses, a number of which are owned by women and young people, cannot get funding to start or to grow. Many struggle to find markets for their goods and services, and nearly all small and medium enterprises have to contend with a multitude of regulations, of bylaws, of licensing requirements, and bureaucratic hurdles. We take seriously the public comments on the draft business licensing bill and will ensure that the final bill makes it easier, not harder, to start and to run a small business in South Africa. We will do that. This year, we will provide more than 2.5 billion in funding to over 180,000 small and medium enterprises and extend a further 1 billion in guarantees. Naturally, we will seek to also focus on women and youth-led businesses to foster their empowerment. And we will amend the National Credit Act regulations to make it easier to access credit at a lower cost. The transformation of our economy is necessary to drive sustained growth, to reduce inequality, and correct the injustices of the past. We are undertaking a review to refine, realign, and strengthen our broad-based Black economic empowerment framework to ensure that it supports greater transformation and inclusive growth. Now, all these actions will create a stronger economy and fix the foundations that were broken. It is a matter of national concern that too many South Africans remain unemployed and too many young people struggle to find their first job. That is why we are rebuilding the economy. We are creating work and livelihood opportunities on a scale through public and social employment programs. In places like Standerton in Mpumalanga, the presidential employment stimulus is creating work that matters, turning dumping sites into parks and empty yards into community gardens. The SA Youth Platform has provided millions of young people with access to work and learning opportunities for the first time. The Youth Employment Service, a partnership between business and government, placed over 200,000 young people in year-long work experience opportunities. This year, we will introduce regulatory changes that will make it much easier for businesses to participate in the Youth Employment Service and create jobs for young people. In the coming year, we will expand our public employment programs, including the Community Works Program and the EPWP and the Presidential Employment Stimulus. We will ensure that they are better coordinated, provide income support, skills development, and pathways into longer-term work, particularly for young people and women. To ensure that no one is left behind, we are implementing We are implementing decisions to increase employment equity targets for persons with disabilities in the public service to 7% by 2030 and to mandate a 7% preferential procurement target across all government and public entities. Above all, however, a strong economy relies on a well-educated, capable, and skilled population. Our focus now is on establishing a firm foundation for learning in the early years of a child's life. We are expanding access to early childhood development through the Bana Pele mass registration of ECD facilities and an increase in subsidies for ECD learners. By making grade R compulsory, we are getting all our children off to a good start. We are intensifying efforts to fix the basic education system with a focus on early learning, literacy, numeracy, and mother tongue-based bilingual education. Now, we must congratulate the matric class of 2025, which achieved an 88% pass rate. Now, this is the highest pass rate in our history, reflecting both commitment of the learners and the interventions we have made to improve learning, but we also congratulate them for the sacrifices they themselves have made to get where they are. As we welcome improvements,
That's weird. We're just going to switch streams quickly. Give us a sec.
Sector Education Training Authorities, SETAs, to improve governance, strengthen industry participation, raise the quality of training, and better align skills development with the needs of the economy. Now, this includes improving the use of TVET colleges as the primary sites for occupational training and artisan development. To support effective workplace learning, we will increase the proportion of the skills development levy returned to employers, restoring it to its original level of 40%. We will also transform the National Skills Fund into a more agile, outcomes-driven instrument that supports unemployed young people to access workplace experience and employment, building on successful initiatives such as Job Boost. These reforms will ensure that various training programs that we have in government are a door to opportunity, not a dead end. To absorb the increasing number of young people passing matric, we will expand opportunities for young people. Will ensure that various training programs that we have in government are a door to opportunity, not a dead end. To absorb the increasing number of young people passing matric, we will expand opportunities for young people to enter institutions of higher learning. I have directed the Ministers of Finance and Higher Education to work on a proposal for us to build more universities and TVET colleges for specialized areas of focus. An immediate problem is the great shortage An immediate problem is the great shortage of student accommodation at our institutions of learning. I have also directed the Minister of Higher Education to address this challenge, working together with financial institutions on innovative methods in which government can provide student accommodation. A stronger South Africa is built on strong communities, and strong communities look after their children. More than a quarter of children under 5 years are stunted, increasing their risk of disease and affecting their ability to learn and to grow. Now, this is devastating for children and their families and has an impact on our society as a whole. This year, we will embark on a mission to end child stunting and malnutrition by 2030 and tackle malnutrition amongst young children in line with the national strategy to accelerate action for children. We will focus on the crucial 1,000 days of a child's life, building on existing support such as the Child Support Grant. We will implement targeted interventions to ensure that pregnant women and low birth weight children get the protein and nutrients that they need. This is a massive crisis that demands attention and resources. Now, the medium-term budget statement that will be presented by the Minister later this year will set out a clear allocation for the actions that we need to take. A major contributor to child stunting is excessive alcohol consumption, which can affect a child's development during pregnancy. Alcohol abuse leads to violence, leads to road accidents and crime. Now, to address this scourge, we call on provincial governments to strengthen the regulation of alcohol by limiting the density of alcohol outlets, restricting trading hours, and ending the sale of alcohol in large containers. As national government, we propose measures to curb excessive alcohol use, including minimum unit pricing or higher excise duties and greater restrictions on alcohol advertising.
Hello there.
Which we are consulting with the stakeholders. Now, since it was introduced during COVID-19, the Social Relief of Distress Grant has kept millions of South Africans out of food poverty. As a transformative instrument to improve the lives of the poorest and the most vulnerable people, this grant will be continued into the future. This year, we will redesign the grant to more effectively support livelihoods, skills development, work opportunities, and productive activity. We know that most of the money provided through the social grants is spent on food and transport. In our cities and towns, most people live far away from workplaces and services. We are remaking our cities and reducing the cost of living for working families by expanding affordable housing and revitalizing commuter rail. We are introducing a new model for housing where people are given subsidies for ownership and rental in areas that are suitable for them. We are shifting from building houses for people to supporting them to build, to buy or to rent their own houses. Yesterday marked the 60th anniversary of the declaration of District 6 here in this city as a wide group area. A couple of 100 meters from here where we are, more than 60,000 residents were forcibly removed and relocated to the Cape Flats. The destruction of District 6 is a painful reminder of our shared responsibility to redress the injustices of the past and to build vibrant and cohesive communities. The restitution claim lodged in 1998 affirmed the lawful right of former residents of District 6 and their descendants to come home. That return has required court supervision, detailed planning, and sustained public investment. Many homes have now been completed and handed over to verified claimants. With 500 million rand allocated to this work, we are proceeding with phase 4 of the construction. The restoration of District 6 is a goal we all seek and a responsibility that we must all shoulder. We are working to build a healthy nation. As part of preparation for the National Health Insurance, we are investing in health facilities, in personnel and systems to improve access to quality care. We will be undertaking substantial investment in health infrastructure, prioritizing the construction and revitalization of our academic hospitals. On a recent visit that I undertook, led by Minister Motsoaledi, to George Mkhari Hospital in Ga-Rankuwa, I witnessed the dire effects of inadequate health infrastructure. Starting with George Mkhari Hospital, we will be working with various public and private financing institutions to finance the building and revitalization of that hospital as well as other healthcare facilities. Now, as a nation, we are finally able to imagine a country without HIV/AIDS. In support of our program to prevent and ultimately to eliminate HIV, we will be undertaking a massive rollout of lenacapavir, a 6-monthly injection that has proven highly effective in preventing transmission of HIV. We are also working to end cervical cancer in our country by mobilizing society to ensure that every young girl between the ages of 9 and 15 receives HPV vaccine. Last year, we classified gender-based violence and femicide as a national disaster. Now, through this classification, we are able to better coordinate our response and direct efforts towards the most impactful interventions. Building on the National Strategic Plan, we will mobilize all sectors of society through communication and social mobilization to challenge harmful attitudes and practices. We will continue to promote women's economic empowerment through training, financial support, and preferential procurement. We will strengthen law enforcement through faster investigation, improved case management, expanded sexual offences courts, and action against repeat offenders. We will scale up survivor center support, ensuring access to shelters, one-stop service centers, mobile and rural outreach, and the placement of social workers in our police stations. Illegal immigration continues to pose a risk to our security, our stability, and economic progress. We will address this problem while ensuring that the fundamental rights of every person in this country are upheld and protected. This year, we will take additional steps to secure our borders. Funding to strengthen border security will be prioritized, covering infrastructure, technology, and people. Now, key border posts will be redeveloped through public-private partnerships, and we will extend the electronic travel authorization to all international airports and the busiest land ports of entry. We are already using drones and technology to greater effect all along our borderline. The police, home affairs, and labor inspectors will work together to crack down on violations of existing immigration, labor, and other laws. Employers who hire foreign nationals without the required permits or visas will face the full might of the law. Now, to tighten enforcement, we will hire an additional 10,000 labor inspectors this year. As we undertake these interventions, we insist that the laws of our country must be observed by everyone. We will not tolerate violence and acts of lawlessness directed at foreign nationals. No foreign national should be unlawfully barred from accessing public facilities, including health facilities and schools. To build a stronger South Africa, we need an ethical and capable developmental state. A capable state needs committed and honest public servants with the right skills and a deep culture of service. Over the past year, we have passed significant new legislation to professionalize the public service. The Public Service Amendment Bill will protect key appointments from political interference and ensure that capable and qualified people are appointed to senior positions on the basis of their suitability for the job. Lifestyle audits have been made mandatory for senior public servants, reaching 93% compliance across departments. We are establishing a central registry for disciplinary cases across all spheres of government. This will prevent people who are facing or have undergone discipline action from being employed elsewhere in the state. We are continuing to improve governance and performance of state-owned enterprises like Eskom, Transnet, Denel, Prasa, and others. This includes the implementation of clear standards of appointment to ensure that the leaders of these entities have the right qualifications and experience. We will continue to work in a phased manner towards a centralized model of managing our SOE portfolio so that we can set standards, improve governance, and ensure financial sustainability to deliver on their mandates. This includes finalizing the National State Enterprise Bill, which will be done in this Parliament. We will harness digital transformation as a driver of growth, of inclusion and effective service delivery. This year, Home Affairs will launch the Digital ID to enable safe and secure use of digital services for all South Africans. We will digitize driver's licenses, matric certificates, and services at the Master's Office. Citizens will be able to fill out police statements online, and eligibility for SASSA grants online, and be tested remotely. All these services will be made available by My Mzansi platform. Soon, every South African will be able to access many of the services they need without having to visit a government office or filling out manual forms. This year alone, hundreds more bank branches will now offer smart IDs and passport services, decreasing queues and waiting times. We will also work with civil society to ensure that citizens' protections and rights are safeguarded through this digital revolution. For South Africa to be strong, our continent, Africa, must be at peace and it must prosper. To advance the values of our Constitution, to promote our national interest, we seek a world that is sustainable, just, and inclusive. In an increasingly volatile world, South Africa holds firm to the principles that defined our G20 presidency and underpin our foreign policy, which is solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Now, through our position in the African Union and the Southern African Development Community, SADC, we are advancing regional integration, peace, and stability. We know that we are using our international relations to support domestic economic priorities, including manufacturing, value addition, and export growth. We are contributing to the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Area to expand trade between African countries, to drive industrialization, and to create jobs. South African firms, our banks, our farmers, our manufacturers will be leading suppliers to an African market of 1.4 billion people whose working age population will double in the next 25 years. We are building mutually beneficial relations with all countries on terms of equality and respect. Now, in a world where powerful nations often assert their dominance and influence over less powerful nations, our country's commitment to sovereignty and self-determination is sacrosanct. It is not negotiable. And we will stand firm on our sovereignty and promote our national interests, our values, and the rights of our people. We are clear that we will continue to respect the rights and sovereignty of other nations. But we must be equally clear that we will not be bullied by any other country in the world. We will forge strong partnerships with like-minded countries to increase our shared resilience to global disruptions. Building on our presidency of the G20, which all attest to having been very successful, we continue to advance the priorities of the Global South. Now, these include inclusive growth, debt relief, climate action, reform of global governance institutions, and the beneficiation of critical minerals at source, as we said. Drawing on the work of the G20 Extraordinary Committee on Global Inequality, we are working with other international partners towards launching the International Panel on Inequality. This is an important pillar of the global effort to reduce inequality within and between nations. We continue to champion multilateralism and strengthen humanitarian diplomacy. South Africa remains clear and consistent, a consistent voice for international law, for justice, and for human rights. South Africa will continue to support conflict prevention and peacekeeping efforts of the United Nations, the African Union, and SADC. We are proud of the participation of South African soldiers in peacekeeping missions in many parts of our continent since the advent of democracy. we have requested the United Nations to allow us to withdraw our troops from the UN mission in the DRC, where they were serving under MINUSCO, with a view of consolidating our own defense force and strengthening it. We cannot consider ourselves free as long as the people of Palestine, of Cuba, of Sudan, and Western Sahara, and elsewhere suffer occupation, oppression, and war. So, fellow South Africans, our nation has reached what many people are saying is a turning point. We are leaving behind an era of decline and turning towards an era of prosperity and growth. We have done much to overcome the effects of state capture, COVID-19, and the public unrest of 2021, and the devastating floods of the following year. We are turning towards hope, towards the reality of a better future for all. The progress we have made over the last 5 years does give us hope and encouragement. It shows what we can achieve when we work together. Now is not the time to rest. Now is the time for all South Africans to be part of taking our country forward. Last year, we embarked on a new chapter in our democracy, launching a national dialogue at a convention that brought together South Africans from across the country, representing all sections of society. Now, this year, this national dialogue process will spread across South Africa, reaching every community, every school, every university, every college, and every part of our society. Under the guidance of the Eminent Persons Group, consisting of prominent, respected South Africans, and led by an inclusive steering committee, these public dialogues will give the citizens of our country the opportunity to raise their concerns, their aspirations, and plans for the future. These public dialogues will culminate in a national convention where all these conversations will be brought together to outline the actions that we must take to build a better South Africa. These conversations will guide the formulation of an overarching national compact and the next phase of the National Development Plan by 2030. In building this national consensus, we must draw not only on the shared values of our Constitution, but on the unifying power of sport and the rich diversity of our culture. As we celebrate those who have reached heights of global achievement amongst us, we must appreciate how sport and cultural activities have helped to build a cohesive society. Harnessing the spirit of the women of 1956, the youth of 1976, and the people of South Africa in 1996 when they drafted the Constitution. The year 2026 must be a year of transformative change. This must be the year that we make South Africa stronger, not weaker. We must fix what we must fix. Local government. We must fight crime and corruption and restore trust in the criminal justice system. We must create jobs and livelihoods for every South African. And we must build a state that works for all the people of South Africa. Above all, we must ensure that this rising tide lifts every South African. As the economy grows, it should bring into its fold those who have lived on the margins. This is the time for all South Africans to rise, and we must rise together. Thank you very much.
Well, that was interesting. And the audio just went off. That's insane. Let's check this one.
Thank you very much, honorable members. You may take your seat.
Hello there.
Honorable members, the House is still in procession.
Sorry about that.
Order, honorable members.
Order.
I thank the President, for a well-delivered State of the Nation address. After I have adjourned this joint sitting, members are requested to rise and remain at their places until the procession has left the chamber. The guests in the gallery should remain seated until the judiciary has left. The ushers will then indicate when doors are open. The procession led by the
These are the people that run the country. How do they not know how to leave a building? How do they need to describe this to them?
The chamber in the following order.
Are you joking?
The Speaker of the National Assembly, the Chairperson of the National
Could this not have been a
Council of
memo?
Provinces, the President,
Could they just send a paper to them and go,
Speaker.
listen. Oh, there we go. Stream's busted again. What's going on? It's broken. I think that's it, eh? That's how it ends. Let's switch over to this one quickly.
Sitting is adjourned.
That was weird. A glitch in the matrix. Okay, looks like it's over now. Now they're just going to leave. Interesting. That was fun. What is going on? Is the stream still working? What is... Let's see what SABC's one says. Oh, we're just going to interview people. Let's just see what this looks like. We can just keep this up and running on the side, yeah? Anyway, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us while we watch this. That was interesting. There's so much to unpack there. Good Lord. Yeah, I don't have words. I honestly don't have words. I just want to say thanks to the chat. Thanks for everybody for hanging out here. We're going to have a nice chat about this now. Please remember to hit the like and the subscribe if you're here for the first time. It would be awesome of you. Yeah, man. Interesting. What is going on? Let's just try and refresh this quick and see what happens. There we go. And they've turned off the audio. Everybody's celebrating. I don't understand. Why are they dancing? Why are they happy about this? What is there to be happy about? It's just like more people's tax money that they're going to take from us. It's insanity. But here we are. Yeah? Another State of the Nation, just empty promises made. Let's read some of the comments. Yo, they're flying in. Please, Mr. Step down. It's geld. 144. Play that clip. It's perfect for the response. I will. Yo, this is just completely broken. Let's check out the stream instead. Just keep this show this one in the background. There we go. Yeah, what's happening at the SABC? There we go. Let's show this. They're just interviewing people.
The military being brought in Kagiso and in parts of Western Cape.
I'll just turn this a bit down. Good Lord. YouTube is punishing you. Just stop the screen share. No, I won't. I was going to read some of the comments. Yeah, I mean, listen, this is the thing. There was a nice diverse amount of people, crowd in here. I think people from every kind of different background, different political affiliations in the chat. And the sentiment I kind of got going across the board is the fact that everybody's over the ANC. It's like they're really over it. They're just like, Like, how many more years of empty promises are they going to give us? It's kind of too much, right? It's just like empty promise after empty promise after empty promise. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people haven't had enough of this. Honestly, they've just like, we're done. We don't want any more of this. Yeah, people want them to step down. People actually want to see some kind of change. Because the thing is, how many times can you lie to somebody about something over and over and over and over again? They just keep lying about it all the time. Oh, no, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. Then nothing happens. Nothing ever happens. People are hurtful. People are tired. We're done. Exactly like CR says, we're done. We're done. Like, they don't do anything. Well, let's hear what the ministers have to say. Actually, it's a good idea. Thank you, AJM.
Is going to arrive in the next 5 to 7 days, and then we'll roll that out. But it will obviously be a process that involves the private veterinarians, animal health technicians. We don't have the capacity at state level to roll it out ourselves, and so it's going to be a big public-private partnership out there. We will procure the vaccines. We'll make sure the vaccines get to where they need to be based on the scientific heat map that our task team has developed, and we are going to vaccinate at scale. The goal is, by the end of this year, to have vaccinated 80% of the targeted herds and to reduce the incidence of foot and mouth disease by 70%. We're confident now that we have the vaccines, excellent vaccines from Argentina, from Turkey, from Botswana, but also our own locally produced vaccines that for the first time are going to be rolled out in the field.
John, I'm sorry, I'm out of time. I'm going to cross over to my colleagues in the precinct. Sakina is standing by with EFF leader, Julius Malema.
Thank you, Bulelani, and of course, leader of the EFF, Julius Malema here. Mr. Malema, let's start with the good. What did you...
Oh, come on. What's going on? What's going on? We're just having issues here. Is the stream just being cock? Oh, come on.
Government platform during an election year to launch a campaign for his political party. That's what we've been subjected to here. Most of the things you have been listening to, we heard about them. We were supposed to be told today, how far is the University of Ekurhuleni? He said he's going to establish the University of Ekurhuleni and point. Things like that. How many jobs have we created and where are those jobs? So that people can independently go and verify.
The stream just lagging. Sure. Sorry guys, let's just refresh this quick. What is going on?
The SSA
will
be re-vetting members of the SAPS as well as those of the Metro Police Departments. This has been a point of contention given the fact that you also sit on the Parliamentary Ad Hoc Committee.
Well, that is a confirmation of the evidence that we're able to lead in the Ad Hoc Committee and in the Madlanga Commission, that it looks like majority of police.
No, not. My internet is super fast. I don't know. I think it's just because it's being so many people are watching it. I think it could be an issue.
These are corrupt, and that's why they need the necessary vetting from an independent structure which is not conflicted. If one day you have an opportunity to ask Castle Matale a question, I told him when he became a minister, deputy minister of police, and I said, you must never receive a gift from any of the police generals, because once you do that, they've captured you and they're going to get you into their criminal activities. Today, the president is confirming that the Ad Hoc Committee and the...
This is, it is just, the stream is just lagging from their side, hey? So let's just try and reboot this one again. There we go.
South Africa is very high. Amongst young people, it's sitting at 40%, and well, that is a confirmation of the evidence that we're able to lead in the Ad Hoc Committee and in the Madlanga Commission, that it looks like majority of police are corrupt, and that's why they need the necessary vetting from an independent structure which is not conflicted. If one day you have an opportunity to ask Kasel Matale a question, I told him when he became a minister, deputy minister of police, and I said, you must never receive a gift from any of the police generals, because once you do that, they've captured you and they're going to get you into their criminal activities. Today, the president is confirming that the ad hoc committee and the Madlanga Commission have revealed the serious rot which requires the state security to come and vet the SAPS and metros, in particular Ikuruleni. You can see that Julius, that is a criminal, is a liar. They've been making that municipality a spaza shop. That's why when you interview him, you must put a 5 liter of water next to him, because he will be sweating from lying.
And that, of course, leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, and me hand it over to Samkele Maseko. Sam?
Yes,
Well, Sakina,
it
we
is
are
funny.
with
Come
Mr.
on.
Hlengwa from the IFP spokesperson. Mr. Hlengwa, just the importance of the State of the Nation address. What are the good points that you took as the IFP, and what are the bad points that are there?
Well, I think that the president gave a very balanced account of where the country is, and I think it's a very huge acknowledgement for him to say that the country under the GNU government in a year has been able to be in a better position than what it was. Obviously, there's still a long way to go, but it has been important to arrest the decline of the country to ensure that the economy is stabilized. And now the outlook should really be about job creation, as he has said extensively. It is important for us that he has spoken about the issues of illegal immigration, which continues to be a very adverse burden on the economy, on opportunities for South Africans, and therefore the work that needs to be done there is critical. Secondly, crime remains of fundamental concern, and the fact that the SANDF is going to be deployed to give support to the SAPS is a welcome move.
Oh, you're joking, honestly. We're just having massive issues here.
Because we fully recognize the challenges that are within communities. What is, of course, an admission there is that there is a serious collapse within.
What the hell? Their stream is just struggling. Yeah, it's really struggling for some reason. Sorry about that, lads. Let's see if we can just refresh
the SAPS, and the president is now finding himself having to put in place quite a number of interventions before fighting crime to first clean up the
Come on. Let's see if we can just refresh this. Anyway, yeah, this is nuts. It's kind of nuts what's happening. It's crazy. There we go. Wait, we've got back feed. We've got feedback. Yay.
That were encouraging. I mean, the fact that he also raised the issue of building more TVET colleges and universities because he wants people to be skilled is something that is commendable, and we want to commend him for that. And also the fact that he has agreed finally, something that he didn't want to do, of the SNDF.
Really? SABC? Just anybody else got this on still? No, it's all dead.
Connecting or assisting the police to fight the gang violence in the Western Cape in particular. I think that is a very good step in the right direction, and the ACDP welcomes this.
All right, thank you so much, Reverend.
Yes, what the hell? That is it's just not KEF. It's just not KEF, honestly. It's just broken. Anyway, let's see if Darth Sean, are you there? No, Darth Sean's stream's broken as well.
For more reaction, we cross over to you, Sakina.
Thanks so much, Bulelani. And with me, of course, the president of SAL.
Okay, this is just a complete failure. Anyway, yeah, that was fun. That was really rad. Having a fun time. Let's read some of the comments. Dr. AP's. Sorry, guys. Just want to mute that. There we go. Darth is sleeping. I think so, Matthew. That was fun. It's interesting. Jeez, there's a lot of things to cover. Again, it's like every single thing is just an empty promise. It's empty promise after empty promise after empty promise. And I think the entire nation sees that. They're kind of over it. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know if I have any words. Like, will any of this stuff materialize? I don't think so. I just don't think it will. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Oh wait, we got stream back again.
Possible quality service to our people. And that professionalization to us, we are also asking that they must then help the local government. For instance, if I can talk about local government. And
really? Why is this just bad stream luck? Sorry, guys. I mean, anyway, we've covered what we need to cover. Okay, there we go. And
many of the problems attributed down to a lack of service delivery at local government level. Sam,
And
who do
you're
you
surprised.
have?
Indeed, Sakina, the issues of local government are very close to the heart of Ethel Trollip of Action SA, former mayor of Gqeberha. Mr. Trollip, just the essence of the president's speech, particularly on the issues of protection of witnesses within the country. I heard you speaking to your colleague about it now.
Samkelo, thanks very much. I have to admit it's a better speech than I expected. There were less fairy tales this time around. Covered a lot of issues. I think he was very candid about the state of local government and how broken it is.
This is terrible. I mean,
and how systematically it's been broken over the
this.
last 30 years, but he accepted no responsibility for that. It's his government that has broken local government, and also water infrastructure. He spoke at length about that, and that there's going to be a special focus on water infrastructure. I think they've realized it's too late that the Vaal River system's full of water, dams are overflowing, but there's no water in.
Yeah, sorry, it's not me, guys. Sorry, it's the SABC stream is being like really cuck. I think it's because they're doing like a live broadcast, and they have issues connecting. So, yeah, I'm sorry.
So there's a crisis there.
Broken.
But the thing that I took away here is that as a small political party, a new political party, you can influence government. You know, we've been talking about illicit trade, extra funding for SARS, whistleblower protection, anti-corruption legislation. It's all in the record. It's all in the pipeline of private members' legislation. I called for a national declaration of disaster for foot and mouth disease, and I've been on the road every day highlighting the impact of this disease. He's declared.
Jesus, come on, SABC. Really? Just
a national disaster. So I feel vindicated. I think if this is how a democracy works, and if you're a competent, capable, hard-working opposition, there's a dearth of opposition in our parliament, and our 6 members have shown that we can influence policy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ethel Trollip. Over to you, Bulelani, with who you have.
Thank you, Samkele. Let's take this conversation.
No, let's not. I don't know if I can anymore. This is just too much. Oh, wait.
Mr. Maimane, firstly, the president's assessment of the economy, do you think it's an accurate reflection of our performance?
Look, first and foremost, there have been good things that have happened in the economy. You know, getting off grey listing was important. We have a meager growth of 1.2% projected in the next while, so quarter to quarter. Our problem with our economy is that it is incapable of creating the requisite jobs. It isn't growing at a rate fast enough to keep up with population growth. And the reasons for that are inherently because South Africa is not safe. So people don't throw investment in countries that are not safe. Secondly, as we have experienced this FMD issue, it's going to impact our agricultural outputs, but our skills base is low. So I agree with the president that we must increase our skills base, but I want to challenge the president, increase the 30% so that we can have a higher output of young people who are going into the job market. And then lastly, I think we need to enhance better at holding politicians accountable. You can't have a Madlanga commission, etc., in a corrupt culture, yet it's only the officials who are the problem, not the politicians. So if the president wants to change the system, I would urge him that he mustn't just deliver an election speech. He must put deliberate action. All of these task force reports must be tabled in Parliament monthly so that the people are able to see for themselves what the progress is.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Musi Maimane, leader of BOSA. Let's take it over to Sakina, right on the other side.
Thanks, Bulelani. I'm joined by the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development telling...
Yeah, it's so terrible. God, the stream is just terrible. You guys,
Mr. Klingwa to be quiet on the other side. But Minister, thanks so much for stopping by. So this year marks the 30th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution of South Africa. Let's start there in terms of the significance of this milestone.
Definitely, we're looking for.
Really? I mean, yeah, I think that's all we can take. So ask Darthron, he's here. There we go. Yeah, let's see. Look here. Kathy Julie says ANC is a joke. We all know. It's true. How about as long as there is wait. So Kevin says we need a death sentence to bring the death sentence back into law. I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, I kind of worry about that, right? I kind of worry about the death sentence in the sense of like how it will look optically. I do think if there's murder, stuff like murder happens, I think it should be no, like if you've committed murder, then yeah, like dude, if one or two times, maybe two times, then you know, like yeah. Let's see. Darthron, are you there?
Yes, Jesus.
Oh, your thing has got like a very hectic feedback.
Well, because it's warm here and I've got the fan on.
Oh. Just check if you can make sure your echo cancellation's on. What did you think of the State of the Nation?
I don't give a fuck.
It was terrible.
It's the same shit as he had before. There's no fucking difference in anything he has to say.
Your audio sounds terrible. Hold on, maybe it's on my end. Maybe just stay on the stream quickly, Sean. Just read out some comments if you don't mind for 1 second. I just want to do a refresh here quick and see if that fixes the issue. Do you mind? You do that?
Yeah, I'll do that. Fine. Let's
Cool.
do it.
Keep you on stream, and I'll be back in 1 second, lads. Give us a moment.
Okay, what do we have? This is the national anthem. We know that the this is the national anthem. We know that that he's not going to fulfill the obligation. Yes, same shit he did last year. Although I must admit, he didn't mention apartheid as much.
No, he didn't. No, there we go. Thanks for that. Actually, right. Yeah, he didn't mention apartheid not much this time. I mean, once or twice, but not like I think I made a video of it last year where it was just over and over and over and over. He mentioned it like so many times. It was just like it was actually insane. Last Sean is in his OF studio on Potato Camp. That's fact. Yeah, that's true. What else is there? There's no other sort of garbage we see every Sunday. That is 100% true. Equality DHE. It was. I mean, he could literally just replay the one from last year. No one would notice. You know what I did? I think it was 2023. I did a snippet of the entire 2023 Sona. I mean, it was the 2024 Sona. And last year, 2025, I just kind of played it again. And everybody was like, oh, this is the exact same thing. And I kind of went and matched it. It was almost like the same thing. He said the same speech, mentioned the same stuff, the same type of this thing. He's just updated it. But what of these things actually materialize? Which of these things are actually going to happen? And what's he going to actually do? I mean, nothing. Sean looks like it's frozen. No, Darthron's frozen. Jeez, is it the internet just cucked?
Why am I frozen? I'm moving up and down. You want me to keep doing this?
Wait. Okay, wait. Stay on. Let me just do a hard reset here quickly. Give me a second. Sorry, maybe this is my side. Apologies for this, lads. 1 second.
It's awkward. Every time he does this. Fucking annoying. Darth, your fan is screwing up. Mork, don't give a shit. No, they're building a smart city, bullshit trains. I know, the train thing, I was thinking, I don't know how they're going to get that to work. Shit. What else do we got here? Mork was tonight's stream attendance, a record. Yeah, it was quite a big turnout. I think currently now there's quite a few people watching. And I got to see this shit with my shitty camera. I do apologize. What else? Yeah, I'm sure. Hope he's not going to implement digital ID card. Yes, I'm not a big fan of that idea. The vaccinating of all the children. Yeah, like there's no choice for me in that matter. When I say that, I mean you're eliminating the choice from the parents to vaccinate their children. So yeah, over 1,000 watching. Yes, Gavin. Move bullshit. What? What do we got? Matthew, shit. Yeah, the trains will be stolen by the time it reaches Harry Smith. Yeah. Yeah, man, I don't know what they're gonna do. It's not the best idea. We'll see how that goes. Dagbreker. I'm gonna keep using my Groen Mamba ID book. Where the hell is Mork now? Yeah, Chantal. Like I think at one point we had 6.8. 6,800. It was like just over 6,800 views, which is pretty good. So yeah. What the hell is Mork doing? Hold on, let me turn on this and maybe the camera will look better. Oh, there we go. That looks a little better. Okay. What do we got? Men, women, every story. Is he finally back? Oh my god, what took you so long?
Sorry about that. You sound a bit like robotic.
I feel robotic. I'm tired.
Yeah, I'm so tired. That was interesting. I don't know what the hell happened there. I was having complete issues with the stream. I just had to do I did a hard PC reset, and yeah, I don't know if it's working. It's just like, I think it's just like the internet's just cock at the moment. But I mean, like my speed test is awesome. Anyway, yeah, that was interesting. I don't even know if I could even call it interesting. It just feels like the same old regurgitated shit. Yeah, I mean, what's going to happen? Nothing. Like, do we honestly think anything's going to change like tomorrow? Like, you know, it's just the same old. Cyril Ramaphosa, empty promises. The entire world will go, yeah, cool, can't wait. Nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to happen. Yeah. Yo, your internet, your audio is terrible.
Mine?
Yeah, it's yours.
I've got the fan on. It's so hot here.
No, I know. No, but it's almost like a glitchy sort of sound, like a. But wait, I just want to play this. What's this? Robbie Vessa. I don't know if I can play that. Let me just see. 1 of 44. No. Clear the author out of the office email. Yeah, you are buffering. Oh, yeah. You know what's going on. Am I buffering or is Dalstron buffering? Is it both of us buffering? I can't hear Dalstron that well. I mean, it looks fine.
I'm not talking.
What?
Because I'm not talking.
1, 2. Am I not talking? I can't hear you, dude. Let's just see. I mean,
everyone says it's just you. It's not me.
It's just me. I don't know what the hell is going on. Honestly, sorry, lads. Sorry, people. But I mean, I think we've covered most of the entire thing we need to cover. So, yeah. I mean, I think we can call it there. I Anything else you want to talk about, Darthron? Only you, Mork. Oh, damn it, guys. I have no idea what's going on. Sorry. I've checked. The only thing I could do is reset my modem, and then it's like it's going to be a bit of a shit show. So yeah, let's maybe call it there. This is really awesome to have fun and chat with people. I mean, please remember to hit the like and the subscribe, and give us a follow. We do a show every every Thursday 7:30, and Monday 7:30, and then we do a show on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock. We just have fun. We just chill out, talk to people. It's kind of a cool thing. If you wanna come hang out. Maybe I can just read one or two of the comments. If you can still see me, I'm buffering a little bit, but I hope it's a little better. There's fuck all wrong with that clip. Okay, fine. 1 of 44. I'll play it for you. Just because 1 of 44 asked really nicely, I'll play it. Just for 1 of 44. There we go. This one.
Julle moet nou begin afsluit. Orde matrikulante. Shalat bliksem. En jy kom onmiddellik hierna saam met my na die hoofse kantoor. Toe is dit duidelik.
Ja, mevrou.
Dis sy nuus, juffrou. Deur sy hol. En jy kom saam. Orde matrikulante, orde.
Ek kan nie vir julle sê wat 'n wonderlike vooruitsig dit is dat julle twee klont koppe binne enkele dae nie meer in hierdie skool gaan wees nie.
Meneer gaan ons mis. Ek weet ek gaan vir meneer mis.
Grap gaan dit tot die einde toe, né? 5, 6 jaar gelede sou geen leerling dit waag om so arrogant met my te wees nie. Maar julle doen dit, want wat gaan met julle gebeur? Niks, absoluut niks. Dit is onmoontlik om dissipline in 'n hoërskool te handhaaf sonder 'n rotting. Want al hoe twee ongepoetste wetters soos julle leer, is wanneer julle dit voel, wanneer julle gatte brand. Wanneer julle pink, pysieboude, pimpel en pers gemoer is, sodat julle nie sonder pulsende pyn kan sit, poep of skyt nie. Maar nee, ek mag niks aan julle doen nie, want julle het mos menseregte. Al wat ek eintlik kan doen, is om die minister van onderwys. Te moer met die hele fucking regering.
Is dit dus Mork buffering?
This is just a shit show, honestly. I don't know what's going on. I think I'm just checking speed test. It's like I've got almost zero lag here. Why, Mork? I think it's your Streamlabs. It could be Streamlabs again. We don't know. I did reach out to them. They said there was a tiny issue, or it could just be like the network. The power was off today. They fixed. No, the power was off today. I mean, I've got a 2 millisecond ping. 2, and then I think it's got to do with YouTube. There's maybe an issue with YouTube. HM obviously, haha. It's just Mork. I know. Thanks, guys. Thanks that I'm just a complete shit show to you guys. Yeah. Anyway, you doing anything fun for the weekend, Darthron? Watching anything good?
No.
Nothing. Oh.
No.
Anyway, nothing. I'm watching. I've decided I'm going to do House of the Dragon again. I've watched season 1. I'm just going to begin season 2. I think I'm going to do that. It's going to make me feel better about life and stuff. Yeah, I think it's going to be fun to do that. That was right. That's actually right. That's AJM. That's why my stream is being cucked. The government's watching it, and they didn't like people being insulting of the government and dissing them. And I mean, if I can do one takeaway from the stream, it's like I noticed how people across the board from the difficult political affiliations are just going like they're just sick and tired of it. They're sick and tired of the current government. Ooh, yes, I'm gonna actually watch that as well. Dracula, a love story. Sorry, scroll. Why was power off? Dr. Cyril fixed XCOM. No, there was somebody stole a cable. That's another thing. Crime. I wonder if Jordan Hillers can do that. Just come fix stuff. Just stop crime for us. Honestly. Yeah, Darth Sean's going to do some catch up on his OS streams on the weekend. He's definitely going to do that. Make some extra cash dollar. That's going to be a fun one. Yeah, like I can see, yeah, your stream looks absolutely stunning. Mine's the one that looks a bit faded here. I don't know. I think it's Streamlabs being shite. Great. Thanks, Streamlabs. Now maybe it's time to switch over now. Shoot me. Anyway, it's been quite long. It's been 6 till, it's like, what, 9 o'clock yet? Guys, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, and follow us for more fun. We do the show on a Wednesday, a Thursday at 7:30, and a Monday at 7:30, and a Saturday morning at 10. Oh, my brain is all over the place. But yeah, I think we're going to love you and leave you, and we'll chat on Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. Come hang out. We just talk about, it's kind of like Saturday morning cartoons, if you can remember that, where it was fun. We just hang out, we talk about interesting stuff, and then we go through lots of food. So yeah. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Really appreciate all of you. And you guys must have an epic weekend. Do fun, awesome things. And we'll see you Monday night or Saturday morning. See you guys later. Cheers.